Finance meeting to order. Ms. Heather, if you would, roll call.
Yes, sir. Mark George,
Yes.
Melissa Fields.
Yes.
Terry Fitzhugh,
Yes.
Rick Joyner.
Yes.
Clint Mathis. Brian Teber.
Yep.
And I know Mr. Watkins is not going to be here. So we have 6 out of 7.
Okay, down to item number 3. Ms. Heather, if you'll talk to us about those.
Yes, sir. Okay, budget amendments tonight. The first 2 pages are County General Fund 101. First and second page up to the very last one, these are all line item transfers. I'll just go through quickly and let me know if you have questions. First one, we're moving some money from payroll savings out of the county clerk's office to cover overages and benefits, insurance, and then medical, dental services, postal charges, travel, and equipment. The second one is the circuit court and general sessions court clerk. Same thing, they're moving money out of payroll where they've had savings for the year into cover overages in their insurance, data processing, overtime, and unemployment. The third one is the sheriff's office. Same thing here again, we're at year end, so we're seeing a lot of looking at any savings they have in payroll to offset other costs. They had some big savings in communication and travel as well, so that's all going to cover overages in their overtime. The fourth one there is the jail. They had actually a savings in their insurance of $20,000, so that's going to offset money in the guards for extra money they've had to use. This year we had some situations with inmates being in the hospital where you still have to provide a correctional officer for those times, and we get additional pay when that occurs. Page 2, well, first of all, any questions on page 1? Okay. Page 2, same thing, we're still doing line item transfers. The first one is just $4,800 coming from insurance to cover other contracted services on the DGA grant. That was actually a grant amendment where they covered 100%, no county match. The next one there is $3,000 moving from county buildings to the parks and fair boards. This was some pipe that the mayor wanted to purchase out there at the ballpark area. We just did a transfer on that. And then the third one is, this is the LEAPS grant. These are line item transfers that align with their state grant. There again, it's 100% grant, no match. And the fourth one there is moving money from data processing into consultants. There again, it's a grant. That's our $100,000 broadband grant with no match on that one. The one on the very end there, that is not a line item transfer. That is money that we're moving in. I'm requesting to move money from the LATCF funds. Those were the monies that coincided with the COVID money, where we also got the tribal territories LATCF money. We had a little bit left, and that needs to be spent up. So we're using that to offset renovations that they're doing to the stations, flooring specifically, new appliances, those types of things. I can't say the age of thing. I think it's about 20, 30 years since anything's been done in those buildings. So trying to renovate. And that's all there is on that page. The third page is, this is where we have new monies or new revenue sources. The first one, insurance recovery. We had another vehicle damage, so that's $64.82 is going to cover that from the insurance company. Next one is the EMS. This one is where we are with their payroll. This year, again, we had a lot of FMLA, that's Family Medical Leave Act. So when somebody is out, the EMS has to then put in existing personnel, which is usually their full-time personnel, so we go straight into overtime. So they had a number of those situations this year. However, their patient charges have been very high this year. They've increased over their budget revenue. So we're using all that to offset any costs that they needed to do that with. The third one is unused grant funds. This was from 23-24 that had to be returned to the state. In this case, it was a grant. This was the SRO grant from last year. It's an advance payment. It's not reimbursed. Most of our grants are always reimbursed. So if you don't spend it in full, we did have to pay it back. The fourth one there is other charges. That is simply insurance recovery fund. It was a situation, the insurance pays us before we ever get the final bill. The final bill came in lower, so we have to return the money to the insurance company that wasn't spent. Any questions on page 3? Page 4, these are 3 other funds. The first one there, this is the drug control fund, that's fund 122. That $15,000, it's additional revenue earned to offset the added cost to get the Dodge Durango equipped. So that's just coming straight from money that can be used on general law enforcement purposes. The second one is the Fund 127. That is the other side of that EMS renovations budget amendment that you saw earlier. On page 2, that one is where we're just transferring it out of 127 into 101. And then the third one there, that is our debt service fund. That $9 is just basically a cleanup, a little bit more interest was needed versus principal for $9. Any questions on that?
Motion approved. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Are there any new business for this committee? Hearing none, do I have a motion for the adjourn? Second. Please stand adjourned.